You know, we're going to stick with these colors here because I know it's really tough to see here, but Mihai is one of the few players known as playing as the yellow. I feel like with the way Mihai has played this season, he deserves his yellow. There's another player in the group, obviously, who also loves yellow, and that is a player that people are going to have their eyes out for later on today. I, of course, forgot to do something so you guys can see the groups here as we catch up into what will be a very important series. So my bad for the tab out there. But yeah, this is what the standings look like at the moment. We are somehow missing Sito at the top of the screen. My apologies on that. But anyways, Mihai's got 6 wins right now. And right ahead of him is Vivi with 7 and Sito with 7. So, yeah, I mean, for Mihai, if he wants to be top 3 in the group, he wants to go to the playoffs, he's going to want these wins. For Dragonstar, he needs victories today. The thing to keep in mind for Dragonstar is he does have Dark, who only has 1 win this season, as his final round. So if he could stack up some wins today and then also get good wins against his opponent, it could be a real game changer there. Cassie says, really? And Yo doesn't keep his color? Yo keeps his color. You need to settle down. Yo has kept the color that he's had in his game every single time. Mr. Yo, unfortunately, has not been able to keep his villagers alive, so that's been the bigger issue. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about, can Viper make the playoffs? Can Dragonstar survive? Will Mihai make a push to the playoffs? It's big storylines. And with Dragonstar, I just think his preparation is top tier, and he's always doing what he can to give himself the highest chance at winning. There's all these key moments in a game, and right now I'm getting excited about it because he knows Mihai's going to come out here for a dock. He's waiting for that villager, and he wants to kill that villager. Now, it's a bit risky because you could lose your scout here, but if he kills the villager, delays the dock, it could be a game changer. At game 1, Mihai needs the quick walls, and Mihai is not going to get the quick walls down, and Dragonstar kills the villager. Guys, we see this so many times on these water maps where that everyone knows the villager is going to be coming out. And if you lose that vill, that delays your fishing ship production as well. Dragonstar, perfect start. And he already had his dock up super, super quick as well. That's why you pick the Georgians, because you get the free mule card. And the nice thing is your scout also regenerates. So with your scout regenerating... Sorry, just fixing my other screen here so I can see YouTube chat again to see YouTube chat's reaction to that. Yeah, I mean, that's just so good for Dragonstar. Now, the scout doesn't regen super quickly, but at least it does slowly regenerate for later. And Dragonstar is already up 2 workers just because of denying the dock. So what a build here. Is it recoverable for Mihai? Absolutely, but it's not what the Italians would want. And Mihai will bring in his second rhino here, but he's got plenty of wood. And just itching, just waiting to spend it on fishing ships, but the dock was denied there, so... That was a really nice start. So, the way Dragonstar tends to play is he tends to play Chaos. He tends to go for lots of numbers. Many players, as Dragonstar actually finds a couple of sheep here as well, so very good start. Many players, they try and play like as efficiently as possible with as little as possible. So, they play like 1 archer range, 1 stable... They min-max, right? They invest as little as possible and get maximum value. Problem is, if you don't play perfect there, you make 1 mistake, the min-maxing can get punished. And I feel with Dragonstar, he's just not as fast as many of these players. He can't play as clean as many of these players. But he doesn't try to. Like, he literally embraces who he is. And all of his strategies are based around... You know, he's not quite as clean or maybe as quick as some of the players out here. So that's how he beat Viper 2-1. He went crazy with the aggression. And we're going to see the same thing here from Dragonstar. He's on the way to Feudal Age with a very nice uptime. He's got the barracks. I'm just trying to remember all the Dragonstar games now. It wouldn't surprise me if he went infantry every single game. I feel like it's just been a man-at-arm fest from him. So... Mihai's on the way up. I think Mihai should expect this and maybe play into archers or something, but there's always the water aspect you got to think about as well. I like the scouting from Dragonstar here too. He knows where the wood line is. He knows where the gold is. He knows where the berries are. So he's been able to actually scout instead of like losing his scout. And he's sending 2 villagers forward. Thanks again. I want to say Smithy. Thank you again, man, and Derek for the donations. Smithy, I know it's not the first one as well. You've been insanely supportive. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that people are having fun watching TTL, but that's just like extra level stuff, man. Now, I don't mind this for Mihai because first off, he knows the militia are coming. Second, his opponent's scout is weak too. So having a weak scout doesn't hurt nearly as much because then you're even with the opponent. But he kills one of the militia. There's that. What he's not seeing, though, is that Dragonstar is already over here with 2 villagers. It feels like Dragonstar is going to build a tower behind the wood line. And yeah, that's going to be a tower that Mihai will not see. Mihai's scout is just getting to Dragonstar's base. And Dragonstar going for man-at-arms. He added the 3rd militia, so he can be up to... I guess it's the 4th militia, because he lost one. And Dragonstar seems pretty locked in at the moment. Like, he found where the dock was going to be. Now he knows about all the resources. He's aware that his opponent's moving over to this wood line. I'm wondering if he waits for a timing here. In theory, I think you should attack at the same time that that tower goes up, because then Mihai can't react to both. And Mihai just spotted the man-at-arms there. Mihai needs some quick walls, and it is pretty much going to be good timing. Dragonstar's forcing the reactions. Nice reactions from Mihai, but tower's now up. Will he notice this? Because you've got the attack signal already. And, ooh, villagers are going down. That's 1 villager down. Mihai's not able to keep up with this, guys. And Dragonstar off to an amazing start. Unlucky that he didn't end up killing that villager, but that's exactly what he wants. And he will go archer range behind the tower. He will also wall up that tower. And he's got the Hawks there on the water. My God. Dragonstar's just... He's so well prepared. And he will lose the scout to the spearman. That's a nice find from Mihai. Mihai's scout is also dead, though. I'm not sure exactly where it died, but it died back here at some point. And I guess for Mihai, I'm curious how confident he'll be on a counterattack. Because when someone goes forward range like this, which he doesn't know about, typically they're exposed at home. If you go forward tower and forward range, you don't have defense. Obviously, full offense is certainly a strategy. Right now, Mihai's fishing ships are not working efficiently because the Hawks are around. I don't think Mihai is expecting the skirmisher. And yeah, there's the skirmisher. And now he sees it. Pretty good micro, but it must be such a headache. The nice thing is you could tower this hill, and it could kind of protect your wood, and it can protect your gold. But my God, this is a lot of pressure right now. Like the walling for Dragonstar, if he walls back here too, a lot of this eco is safe. Look at the detail of taking the zebra as well with the mule cart. It's very nice. But the berries are eventually going to need to be a resource he takes. Lovely amount of pressure. Mihai's over on his berries now because he's not really actively using the fish. Just so much aggression here. But it's been all Dragonstar so far, guys. Literally from 2 minutes in. No, he knows his timings. He knows his win conditions. The villagers are actually going home, which is a little surprising. I thought that he would stick around and maybe just take that stone. But he's expecting the eventual counter, so he's walling up, so he'll be protected from that. Yeah, and it's actually perfect timing, too, because now you have the counter tower from Mihai. You don't see the army. I think this is what Mihai's needed the whole game. He needs some type of initiative. So it's a nice move. It's risky because you still can't efficiently take your berries. It's still pretty brutal for him on the water that he hasn't been able to actively fish, but as the Hawks are kind of glitching out there, he is able to ungarrison his fish and get the fishing ships back to work. But yeah, Dragonstar should know. This should be very transparent. The opponent is counterattacking if they went defensive tower and the archers aren't here anymore. Very awkward, though, that he can't take your berries. Because you can't even farm yet. So maybe you drop a mill back at home? I mean, Mihai can't take his berries, but he already built the mill. Dragonstar is just passing. Mihai's looking for damage that he can't find. Dragonstar's now moving to the gold. The tower's garrison, though. Oh, God, there's so much multitasking. There's also the action on water as well that we can't forget about. Mihai's fish have had to garrison again. And yeah, Dragonstar will do... It's painful, but I think it's smart. Just gotta play safe here. Mill back here just so you can go for the farms. He did lose all of his man-at-arms. But, man, the amount of idle time for both players is pretty ridiculous right now. Try and guess what age they'll both be in Castle Age at the moment. We've got 4 on food for Dragonstar. We've got 10 on food for Mihai, but that's like villagers that just came back to the berries. His fishing ships are barely working. But Mihai is sniping some of the fish. And Mihai is still threatening here with the archers. He's actually going to run through. And Dragonstar has to quick wall this. He has no army here. And Mihai taking a risk, and Mihai is going to get quick walled. And Dragonstar, it wasn't pretty, but he gets the job done. The archers all die. Oh, man. Skirmishers are still alive as well. Mihai, I think he sensed he's behind in this game and that he needed some type of damage with those archers. But he did kill the fishing ships. And he does have a stable, so if he makes scouts against the skirmishers, things could be pretty decent. Man, Nuclear Gandhi gifted the subs just as the quick walls were coming in. That was very hype. Thank you so much. Dragonstar still has the forward range. It'll pump out archers now. Dragonstar will see the stable, which is obviously a bit worrying when you have the skirms. Now he's got the range here, and he's got the range here. So I think this could become very problematic to group up your armies right now if you're Dragonstar. The forward archer range helps. Honestly, it wouldn't even shock me if Dragonstar drops another archer range at home. He loves to go big army. Well played from Mihai to weather the storm here. I mean, I know the archers went down. That doesn't look pretty, but the fact that he's still being competitive on water is really, really good. It's also a really nice eco transition as well. Like, he's got 12 farms. The scouts being out with the archers at the moment is very strong. It's still cheaper for his civ to go up to the next stage. So I think there's lots of bonuses that scale very nicely here. I think with the market going up there for Mihai, we'll probably see a very similar thing here for Dragonstar in a moment. But yeah, he's mixing in some spearmen and some archers, so the scouts can't disrupt him as much. T90, your voice is weird at 1x speed. How dare you? Okay, this is my normal voice. I can't help it that technology has made you think I'm not who I really am. Funny thing on that, the most recent Unk episode I watched on 1.5x speed because I enjoyed the cast so much. I wanted to like relive it and see if I did the game justice. And then I set myself to normal speed and I was like, whoa. Yeah, I experienced exactly what you guys are talking about. Mihai, his tower just protected him early, but his gold is still really exposed. And he's just walked out here to the stone to get enough for another tower. But guys, Dragonstar's marching forward here. And Mihai just didn't have the time for the tower, and now he's off gold. And being off gold is going to be so painful. Meanwhile, his army, since it can't engage there, will go forward. Dragonstar sees that. Dragonstar's still not on the way to Castle Age. Honestly, I think if Dragonstar just sits his army there and doesn't move, it's still such a good situation, but he wants more value. He wants more kills. As Doubt said the other day, you always want more. And yeah, he gets the villager kill. Technically, though, maybe a chance right now for Mihai to run out here. Oh my god, there's more archers in the back from Dragonstar. He just won't stop. He just will not stop. So much army. And the beauty of it is he's also well defended. Mihai was shifted over to this gold. That's where he's going to build the tower now. Dragonstar's on the way up to Castle Age. The water I've completely forgotten about, but it's still like kind of back and forth. It feels like maybe Mihai's going to cling to some fishing ships. But House Wall's there from Dragonstar. Will protect himself from that army. Very difficult for Mihai to make a lot when he makes it to Castle Age here. Like, yes, you're in Castle Age faster, but you only have 6 archers. You have a lot of idle time. But, I mean, at the same time, Dragonstar's archer count isn't that high either. I still think it's awkward for him to play with 1 archer range on the front and 1 archer range at home. Realistically, I think this would be a nice situation to maybe go into Knights or something if you had a bit better food eco because the bases are wide open. But, yeah, it's still just going to be range units for Dragonstar. Beautiful job from Mihai. I know that he's been behind most of the game, but, like, the fact that he has stayed in this game and has recovered from some of these raids is just so impressive. And I think there's just that consistent theme of always making Dragonstar have to defend himself in some way. And yeah, there he is. He's getting crossbow. He's getting bodkin arrow. Dragonstar's army coming back home, maybe. I wanted to double check and see if Mihai even scouted the range. He doesn't even know the range is there. I'm sure he knows there is an archer range somewhere. Dragonstar with more house foundations. Army needs to make a decision here. I feel like coming home to clear this up could be a very nice decision. But if you do that, you don't have initiative. And Dragonstar hates not having initiative. Mihai's looking good at the moment. He's stonewalling up. He's dropping the university. He's got 2 archer ranges producing crossbowmen. And Dragonstar has a lot of shifting around to do with his eco. And he will actually send the archers here. So the archers are going to group up there. And he's going to send those skirmishers home. I like that move. And what a game. What a game. This is so cool. But I'm inclined to think that the game is actually more structured for Mihai at the moment. He did lose his fishing ships, it seems. So there's very little fish. But like just having the tower set up, having all your production from home moving forward is always very nice. Still running around the backside. Dragonstar doesn't know where he is. Dragonstar is hoping to catch the army out. It's sneaky for Mihai to stay back here. If Dragonstar finds him, though, Dragonstar will chase this down. Where's Dragonstar's army now? Speaking of sneaky. Speaking of sneaky. Mihai sees it, though. Mihai sees it. He got Town Watch. And Mihai brings his crossbows over. And Dragonstar dives in a little too close. I think Dragonstar's surprised to see the army. Here, though, there's the attack bell. So he'll find this army's there, and the skirmishers and crossbows will chase it down. Ballistics is in for both in a second. Remember, Italians have the extra pierce armor on their archers, so in an archer v archer battle, that's much better for them. And Dragonstar didn't have Bod Canero there. He's getting it now. The skirms obviously have more armor, so I think with the skirmishers here, this will likely be killed. But I don't know. Mihai gets really good value from his armies. And by that, it's just keep your armies alive and make it interesting. Yeah, look at that micro from Mihai right now. He's like, okay, you're going to kill me eventually, but I'm going to make you work for it. And this is why my predictions, I favored Mihai 2-1 before the tournament. Is he's just got that extra level of micro. But then Dragonstar's got the strats. That's still really nice value from the crossbowman. So many people just let this army die, and he just refuses to. Dragonstar's kind of matched the micro a little bit. Oh yeah, that meant that Mihai could maybe focus here. Now, there's a bigger army coming than he's expecting. There's crossbows coming in behind as well. And he is fighting up the hill, so that's rather uncomfortable. So nice fight there for Dragonstar. Dragonstar also going to stone now, so maybe thinking about town centers. Guys, so impressed with both of them. Like, it is so clear to me that these guys are not just showing up, playing their set each week, and that's it for them. It is so clear to me that there is a lot of practice involved. They are so incredibly sharp. Like, some of these adaptations from Mihai, I don't know if he's faced this crap before in his practice games, because I don't know who he's practicing with, but the adaptations have been so good. And my worry for Dragonstar is I really feel like this crossbow mangonel thing with Mihai's control, it could just be devastating. It's 38-38 on the KD right now, but now there's going to be siege, and I don't think Dragonstar knows there's siege. Now he finds out. Now, that's not a bad time to find out, because now you can add your own siege workshop, but that ideally would have been positioned already. Still has more units running in, though, and Mihai still doesn't have a town center back there, and Dragonstar will get more damage. This is so good, guys. He walks right into the wood line, and so many villagers will die. Meanwhile, Mihai's going to be pushing, but Dragonstar feasting on the wood line again. Beautiful find from Dragonstar. And Mihai did have the siege over there. It's behind the tower right now. I don't think he's able to focus on that. Meanwhile, he's pushing. The church gets garrisoned to keep the villagers safe, but Dragonstar's eco is still a little bit messy here. He is making his own siege, and Dragonstar also lost his skirmishers here. So I still think, like, that's a nice counter raid, but you do need a bigger skirm count. You do need your own siege. The siege can definitely snowball here. And when Mihai recognizes he's behind now, he's going to be even more aggressive with the siege. There's so many mangonels. He's got 2 mangonels here. He's got 1 here. He's got 1 back at home. Yeah, Dragonstar needs the defense right now. Basically, if Dragonstar survives from this attack, if he can land enough siege shots to kill the mangonels, his eco should be superior now. He's on 2 town centers. He's got better eco upgrades. The problem is that there's just a lot of eco exposed at the moment. Especially this area is a problem. This town center is a big target. Mihai runs into the town center. He's a little distracted. He sees the mangonel here. It would be very much like Dragonstar to use this range to just make a little bit of army and go harass again. He does have an army over there. And I think Mihai is hoping to reposition. I really think he wants this hill. When you're playing with siege, you want to be on the hill so your opponent can't directly kill your mangonel with 1 volley. Dragonstar's hoping to catch out reinforcements with these skirms. Obviously, he can't be anywhere near the mangonels. Yeah, clearly a shift from Mihai to go to this hill. And Dragonstar, he's defended nicely. Army's still looping around. I don't mind him continuing to go to Mihai's base, because that's just more focus for Mihai. But, like, this is a situation where Mihai should always be on the hill, but he can't quite hit the TC and be on the hill with every Mangano. Nice defense from Dragonstar there. But this is about to get even worse. Dragonstar's army's here, though. Mihai's tracking this. Mihai does have a Mangonel there. We'll see if he can land an attack round. He does land a nice attack round. Dragonstar still having to defend here. Mihai is distracted. Oh, man, but Mihai's aware that what Dragonstar's trying to do right now. Oh, man, that should be a kill for Mihai, I think. It's really tough to get out of that position. Yeah, when you have that house there, you can't really back away. Army's down here from Dragonstar. Still being tracked nicely by Mihai. Mihai's just... his pressure is insane. This is so good. There's so much army. Still full on 1 TC. He clears all of this, guys. I don't think Dragonstar can believe his eyes at the moment. There's just so much siege. He probably just can't believe it. It's like, how many Mangonels can he make? I mean, this town center's about to go down. Dragonstar cannot find the engagements. And Mihai's got more army on the way as well. And there will be exposed resources if he gets past this town center. Can Dragonstar get a big shot to hold here? You can tell now that Mihai realizes he could break the game here. There's a church from Dragonstar to Garrison. The Mangonels are firing. The micro's ridiculous. The numbers are still there for Mihai. Dragonstar will look to change that. The micro from Mihai. He still hasn't lost the Mangonel. Okay, he loses 1. He loses 2. Dragonstar holding. I'm wondering if he's thinking about a defensive tower, though. Like, he is dropping a tower, actually. His eco is... I know he has the worker lead, but his eco is super inefficient at the moment. And maybe Mihai could start to drop town centers, but Dragonstar's still holding. Worker efficiency last minute, 51% for Dragonstar. 65% for Mihai. The churches are nice, but that's still idle time. And crossbows have made it through. Just so tough to balance out your resources when you're losing this much your eco. And another big shot from Mihai. Dragonstar cannot keep up with it. He cannot keep up. I think from this position, Mihai can easily drop the town centers as well. Now, his micro should dip because he'll be focused on that. So this has been like 80% military focus. That would shift down more closer to 50-50, of course. But I think we're getting to that stage. Things are still looking pretty stable for him. And yeah, he buys the stone. Now he drops the second town center. Let's not forget Dragonstar does have a couple fishing ships there. It's nothing major, though. But he's only on 1 TC now. So it'd be 1 TC versus 2. But almost as if on cue. Now Mihai's not looking here as much. Might need to add a few farms. There's things you have to do here. And, ooh, Dragonstar gets a shot. Also using the skirms, finding some crossbows. The thing is, Dragonstar has never been able to afford the final armor upgrade on the skirms. So the Italian crossbows have still been fine. But there's the farms for Dragonstar as he adds a second TC, but another Mangonel goes down. Crossbows for Mihai. Oh, that's really bad, but he didn't get hit. They didn't all die? Now they're dead. Okay. Well, luckily, he has another chance to react every time. Because the armor, just how many, he's not going to get one shot on flat ground. You can tell if you can't research guard tower 40 minutes into the game, if that's a tough thing to research right now, your eco is at the limit. Look at that. He just had to sell 500 wood and buy 200 food to get guard tower. I mean, that guard tower timing is pretty critical here because Mihai's sending it after the tower. I don't know about that, Mihai. I don't know about that. Oh, man, the forward Mangonel is actually blocking the projectile. Wow, did you see that? The way it was fleeing was blocking the projectile, so it saved that Mangonel. That could be such a big deal. The archery range for Dragonstar has gone down. We now see the third town center from Mihai. Dragonstar has done a great job to hold on. But I still feel like 3 TCs against 2. 22 on food versus 7. You know, there's just these factors that really stack up nicely for Mihai at the moment with the economy. Maybe he will start to be attacked, though. Maybe the tech switch will come in eventually for Dragonstar. Because we could see maybe Cav Archers for him. We could see Manaspa for him. He's saving for a castle at the moment. What did I say about Dragonstar after the first round? Must watch AoE 2. I mean, are you guys not entertained? Watching Dragonstar in Titans League is must watch AoE 2. It's been similar for Mihai, to be honest with you. Mihai's games have been fantastic. But this, what a series, man. What a series. And the game is so good, but the stakes are so high, too. The fact that they can perform at this level with so much meaning behind the game is amazing. Dragonstar is coming forward with villagers. I think we know what that means, and Mihai knows what that means. Mihai is dropping a tower there. That is crazy, dude. Starting it with 3 villagers, but he has the hill, and the micro is so important now. The micro wins you or loses you the game. And Dragonstar, he's not microing. He's not microing. His siege is dead. Disaster castle for Dragonstar. Oh god, and the Mangonel hits the skirms as well. This could be the game. Another Mangonel's on the way from Mihai. Dragonstar still has a big eco lead, but that is going to change. Mihai noticed this. I don't even know if the tower was needed, and Dragonstar, I think he just overextended there. He probably felt like he needed some momentum. He needed a counterattack. Obviously, you get the castle up there, it's game winning. I say this a lot with certain players, though, right? Like, we applaud them for their crazy and for their intensity. You gotta know when to turn off the crazy, right? When to settle down. Dragonstar just decided to go full send there. There was just way too much army for Mihai. That was risky. But what you could have done is maybe place a defensive castle somewhere. That's still an option, of course. But it was already trending Mihai's direction. And I think Dragonstar sensed it as well. Like, he knew he was losing control over this game and that Mihai was in his element. So the castle going up there would have changed it. It doesn't now. And Mihai's, I mean, evened up the villager count. Still super consistent with the army. And Italians are one of the best late game civs out there to deal with the Georgians. If you can get to your own castles and play Genoese crossbowmen, it shuts down most of the cav that the Georgians are going to send out. And Mihai's on relics already as well. What a hold from Mihai. Guys, Mihai's like... Well, I'll give you a comparison. Sebastian in the other group, right? Sebastian's top of that, I think, Group A at the moment. And Sebastian and Mihai had very similar career trajectories, where they both just kind of rose up very quickly, and they're very young and new to the scene. I think for Mihai, he didn't quite stay as consistent as Sebastian, but like he's got the same level of talent. He's always been there. If he could just apply that talent every single game, he'd be a real force. I mean, this is unbelievable. So, I mean, that castle goes up. He defends his villagers perfectly. It's a well-timed castle versus whatever we saw from Dragonstar. A little counter right here from Dragonstar, but that's a beautiful castle spot. And Mihai shouldn't be too worried about a couple skirmishers. He's got the mangonels for that. Imp is already on the way. Dragonstar will click up himself, which feels important, and he has fixed his eco in the back. So he went from having a weak food eco to a very strong food eco. I still do wonder, what do you do as Georgians here now that the Italians have a castle? And what do you do as Georgians even without the castle, right? Like, you can't really play into the strongest skirmishers with this civ. Lacking the final armor means your skirmishers struggle. This is a little random here. But, okay, a couple rams doing some damage, but... yeah, it's just going to be extremely difficult. For Dragonstar, I think if he had the second armor upgrade on his range units in a lot of these fights, could have gone a bit better. I honestly think the key moment of this game was actually the siege push from Mihai through the middle and Dragonstar's initial siege workshop position. If he could have controlled the front of his base where this outpost is or where those houses are with the siege workshop, would have been much easier for him to defend, in theory. Yeah, I mean... Mihai's being a little wasteful here with his army. Might be because he's got annoying raids to deal with. Dragonstar still in the back, getting some villager kills. Dragonstar's here. Dragonstar's got a random palisade there. But guys, look at the scouting as well from Mihai. Can we talk about that? Look at how much of the map he has seen. My guy's playing on all visible right now. It's crazy. He's got stone and gold down here to take very easily, which is very important on this map. 2 relics. I wouldn't hate to see a couple ships at some point. It's only 1 Hawk here. Make a couple Hawks and retake water. That way you could secure this gold as well. And Dragonstar, 40 seconds off from the Imperial Age time. Eco count's still very close. He drops the church, sorry, not the church, the castle in the back. And we'll just continue to play skirms. I mean, the food eco's there. The wood eco's not looking good, but there's enough wood around, so we can fix that. And thankfully, the only resource is really he can't take right now is this stone, which isn't horrible. So it's not like he's going to run out of some res. Mihai, I think, playing the patient approach now. He's just thinking, how can I lose this game? Relics is one of those things. So he's getting that relic now, and he's building the castle there. Now, that's interesting. That's not as patient as I thought. Patient castle would be a castle more towards this hill down in the south. But he's got villagers there, and he's going to send his army forward here. The first trebuchet's out for Mihai. And obviously, the Arbalest upgrade's going to be coming in, too. But look at him track this, man. Like, he knew those skirmishers were up there. And Dragonstar just continues to try and get counterattacks, but he needs to eventually stop the siege push. And it's tough with Georgians. Georgians don't get bombard cannon, so their late game is not nearly as strong as the Italians. All before the Genoese crossbowmen, which is a ridiculous unit to have. But Italians are just so well-rounded. Dragonstar will lose the town center, which means he'll fall further and further behind in vills. Dragonstar might even lose some vills. Yeah, it's so annoying playing Dragonstar. I played against him. He always gets into your base. But the way to play against a player like this is you just go to his, right? Like, okay, I'm going to take damage. At least you're going to take some damage with me. That's what Mihai's trying to do. That's why he's not sending so much army back here to chase this. But, I mean, it's still a little awkward. Again, I think the beauty, though, is once you have Arbalest, you actually can kill the skirmishers, no problem. Because they don't have the full armor. So I think that will get cleared up. Mihai's still pushing on the front. And, yeah, just for Dragonstar, he's still hoping that he can get his techs up. Civ does get Siege Ram. Siege Ram and Skirmishers can push an Arbalest army pretty nicely. I think what you can't do too easily is push Bombard Cannons, but it depends on the positioning of the Bombard Cannons and the surprise. And Dragonstar's still in the back corner. This is more of a late-game castle for Mihai. He knows this area has been raided, so I like that castle. I think Mihai is spending his time here slowly adding farms. I think if you get up to like 40, 50 on food, you then combine Hussar with this, then it becomes unkillable. But for now, like, Skirmisher Siege Ram could actually have one chance for Dragonstar. And then if he pushes both the castles, like, imagine you take down both these castles, then Mihai's pretty much castleless, except for this one over here. So, yeah, pushing the middle castles would be a game changer here. And a little raid there from Dragonstar. Mihai's feeling really nice about that castle now because that's where he was exposed. Dragonstar's sending the skirms around again. He is massing those rams in the siege workshop, so Mihai knows something's going on. And Dragonstar is checking the south with a mangonel. He's sending the skirms around. Yeah, he's just running into Mihai's eco. And there's the siege ram. Yeah, but like, I feel like you need the siege rams to push immediately after they're shown. The bombard cannons are at home for Mihai to defend from the skirms. It's kind of awkward to use this. Ideally, you have some cav. He's getting the cav upgrades. But Dragonstar is waiting with the rams. You need to have a lot of rams before you can make a push. Ideally, he has more gold right now. He's really low on golds. A T90 Mihai doesn't have horse collar. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I mean, it's a good upgrade to get, yeah, for sure. But it's about just the pure farm count right now, not how long they're going to last. I think if you can hold... If he has enough wood to be able to spend on other things, he's still completely fine. He defends from the skirms. There you go. He heard us. Horse collar's on the way. That's something you can fix, of course. I think it's getting a little dicey for him with his eco, like 65 on wood, 29 on food. But he saw the siege rams. He knows he has Dragonstar on the edge. So he just wants to brace himself for that push more than anything. Dragonstar is churching the north. And he will take that gold. The Mangonel down here has killed the villagers on the stone and gold. That's not a bad find. Dragonstar's also sending light cav around the north into the back. Give me a percentage, guys. The percent chance that Dragonstar can win this. If we would have talked about this 2 minutes ago, I would have said, maybe like 20%. But these are some pretty annoying raids, and there's no castles back there. And he's still being patient and waiting to push in with the Rams. He's sniping a bombard cannon. Now, Onager's going to be a problem, and that's a good upgrade. But maybe Mihai's starting to regret building these castles as forward as he has. Yeah, Onager's huge, though. It's tough to control Onager if you overextend, but Onager means that Siege Ram just cannot work here. And then Trebs can't work because the bombard cannons are there. I don't know, guys. Mihai can send enough Arbalest back. Mihai is enough farmers now where I think he can also go for his own light cav. I do think that Mihai has just simply forgotten about the north and the south. Like, I guess maybe now he'll see it. But that's some critical gold income at the moment. Dragonstar's trying to go elsewhere. He will set up the main attack by simply just leaving and raiding everywhere else he can. I mean, there's red dots all over the place, but the town centers are still getting the clear up. The light cav are still dying pretty quickly. Dragonstar's Rams, it almost looked like he was going to go that way. He can't decide what to do with the Rams. He's still thinking about it. I just don't know if it's enough. Mihai going Onager was such a nice decision. And he's always keeping a close eye on this. Like, there he even backs away from the Trebuchet. And I don't know, guys. Dragonstar has not done the damage he wants with the raids. The Rams are going in. This is the saddest little choo-choo ever. Choo-choo. Just completely melted. The Rams did not stand a chance. The Skirmishers won't stand a chance either. And then I think the castle will be down for Dragonstar, and that'll be the only one. He's losing his Trebs. He's losing his Skirms. He is getting raids. But nothing is going to compare to the damage that Mihai is doing right now. The castle will be gone, and I think Mihai will take the first game. And he's got light cav coming in of his own as well, and the GG's called. Man, what a game that was. Again, you can tell, like, the difference between the speed these players have is clear. Dragonstar game plans around being the slower player. He game plans on having the chaos. He game plans on having the numbers. But he just couldn't compete with Mihai once Mihai got moving early castle. I mean, in terms of the start, it was maybe one of the worst possible starts you could have asked for Mihai. You lost your dock villager. You had the man-at-arms show up. You got towered. You lost a lot of vills early, and he was able to bring it back. What an insane player. Yeah, there's the APM. There's the economy in the end. Dragonstar had more food, but he didn't have anything else, and I think the Italians are the superior later civ. Playing in towards Arbalest like that and the defensive castles, and eventually we would have seen more and more cav. It's just super, super strong. Well played. But yeah, that's a sign that both players are really in top shape here to start the day. Reminder, though, that for Mihai, he wants to push top 3. That's a great start. For Dragonstar, at least what I've been saying, perhaps disrespectful to Dragonstar, but what I've been saying the whole season is for Dragonstar, it's a survival story, right? It's can he stay alive? And so I'll give you the updated percentages before we hop into game 2. Welcome in everybody who's watching. Hello on YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, so many more people here now than when we started. But yeah, here's the updated odds. Right now, Dragonstar 66, 67, 68% chance at being relegated according to the numbers. I think based on my calculations, Dragonstar needs at least 1 win here today. And then he would probably need like a 3-0 against Dark. But like the group is wide open, right? He's still only 1 win behind Viper. So we don't know what's going to happen in Viper Sito yet. That'll be the series after this. If Viper gets swept and Dragonstar gets some wins, Viper could be in the relegation zone. So I think it's better for Viper. What would Viper want here? I mean, Viper wants to win his games. If Viper wins his games, he can go first place still. So I don't think Viper's going to be too worried about this result. Technically could be given some help, but you just got to win your games if you're Viper. All right, here we go. They're into the next game already, and we got to change colors. And oh my God, I told you there was going to be a lame. I knew Dragonstar was going to be coming out swinging. It took all of 2 minutes for Dragonstar to find his opponent's boar and steal the boar and put it underneath the TC. That's Dragonstar for you. And he's actually healing the eagle inside of the town center as well. Again, the boars spawn on the front on this map. And so players typically want to bring in their boars right away. I actually want to go back. Yeah, so you got 2 on the front. And Mihai missed this one. So it's with laming, it's high risk, high reward, but that's just perfect for Dragonstar. This was a gift for him. Mihai did take this boar, but he didn't see that one by 1 tile. So brutal for him. We'll go to live time now. And now Dragonstar's going to do his thing. Guys, we created this map to add incentive for the food in the middle, and some of our best players have just simply avoided it. They've done everything they can to not take risks and not go for this hunt. And Dragonstar has his own builds. He's going for early barracks. He's going to delay normal wood income, delay the lumber camp, and he is just going to flood militia, nonstop pressure the opponent, and then eventually come take this food. That is what he did every time he's played Valley so far. And it's worked. He beat Sato with it, who's currently top of the group. He beat Viper with it. I think he's undefeated with this strategy so far. So now it's about finding where Mihai is. Now, Mihai's down that boar, which really hurts him because he wants to go, if he wants to go infantry, he doesn't have the food for it. If he wants to go feudal age, he might struggle with the food. I think this will not come as a surprise to Mihai. You know this is coming. Luckily, there are some Ibex out there, so he's able to push in a bit more food. But the strongest aspect of this build for Dragonstar is actually taking down those houses. He'll be looking for villager kills, but more than that, he wants houses. And there go the militia. Militia, just look at this, man. Militia after militia after militia walking forward. Dragonstar doesn't know about this little wall, though. So if he clicks back, he could run right into the TC. He might choose to walk around. Mihai sees the militia. Now, he might think that those are the first 2. He is getting loom. But, again, I think if you've done your homework, your game plan was probably to play man-at-arms against this with Romans. But so much of that game plan, of course, is do not get lamed. You have to stop that eagle. It's so tough to do that when your boar's been on the front like that. And here we go. There's 2 militia. Now, Mihai's micro is superior. We saw that already. So I think he's going to look at this and think that he can fight this back a little bit. He's on the way up. Another militia's walking around this way. Dragonstar's still happy with the engagements. Still good micro from Mihai. Remember, behind this, the eco is important because you're spending a lot of food here. The reason you pick Aztecs, though, is you start with additional gold, so you can make the 5 militia and still get loom. It's going to be 4 militia here. Eventually, the 5th will be forward. That's so annoying for Mihai. He has to rotate the weak villagers back home. Every time he fights it back, his villagers are relatively inefficient. You know, what I saw from Dragonstar in the past, though, was I think he delayed his lumber camp and he went mill first in the middle for the food. And what that resulted in was a much faster feudal age time. I'm not 100% certain on that. But, you know, you can tell Dragonstar's inefficiencies are still there, too. These villagers are standing around. That's my Twitch chat right now at work. Okay, they're back to work. Boss is here. It's fine. But yeah, no villager kills yet. Yet being the key word. And Mihai's done a really nice job, but he's okay. We'll push in an extra Ibex. I was just going to say he is kind of struggling for the food, and you can't farm too heavily just yet because you're going to need the wood for the archer range. There's loom for Dragonstar. Dragonstar sees feudal age. Dragonstar wants the villager kills, but Mihai's micro is so good. So good. This is what we said when Dragonstar played Viper as well, though, right? Like, Viper defended from some of the early attacks. And, oh, man, Dragonstar's like, please, 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 please. No! Horrible for Dragonstar. Amazing for Mihai. He kills everything. 6-0 KD. And he has not lost a villager. That is insane, man. That is insane. And he can get his eco upgrades. He now can look and find the villagers in the middle. Mihai has just been able to show an insane level of skill against this strategy so far. Well played. My God. And I think he was hoping there was no loom there. But yeah, he's well aware those villagers are there for the taking. What a start. Damn. I mean, he didn't even have any of the walls down. He'll go to gold now. He has his range. He'll start to make some archers and skirms. I would expect Dragonstar to go double range right now. Typically, he still has the militia out, and the militia are still there to, like, harass and upgrade. Losing those militia, I don't know. On one hand, you want the villager kills, and you want the value from the investment. On the other hand, oh, Dragonstar traps him. Damn. Man, players are popping off right now. That's sick. On the other hand, it's like really intense moment. You can understand. I don't know. I'm going back and forth on it. I can't even speak properly, but if he doesn't get the kills in the future, you say that he was too patient. There, you could say he rushed it too much. I think that's just well played from Mihai. Mihai actually, oh man, this is so sick as well. He's going to sneak because he wants that food, but he knows that Dragonstar is going to be super active through the middle. So he will sneak 4 villagers over here for his own mill. You combine the Roman efficiency, 5% greater efficiency, with relatively safe eco at home and a little bit of hunt. It should be pretty decent for you. Dragonstar actually stopped making lots of militia. He just made 1. Now, I've seen Dragonstar and then his practice partner, Stone Please, who is a player who's playing in... who's going to be Platinum next season, because he was in Gold this season. And he got promoted through a playoff. You would always scout for this, but I think that's if you have leftover militia from earlier in the game. So adding this additional militia. Is he hunting for that weak villager? Is that what's happening right now? Is he mad about that one vill in the woodline? I think he is. He's looking for him. And he gets him. That's so funny, man. He's like, finally, it's what should have happened. Get out of here. That's so good. Might even kill another villager, actually. She's pretty weak. The archers are here. Okay, she's pretty weak. Hey, you better watch out. There's going to be another militia coming for her next. All right, well, I mean, Dragonstar gets the villager kill. Dragonstar has a very exposed eco at home. And, oh, man, Mihai has actually gone for a full wall. That's insane. Yeah, so here's the deal. When you're fully walled against Dragonstar's strat, you can just counterattack him, and the chaos doesn't affect you, right? So that's the problem now for Dragonstar, is like your base is wide open. You're expecting your opponents to be as well, but your militia were never alive to stop the opponent from full walling. So I think this becomes very uncomfortable for him. It would not surprise me to see him tower or something. In theory, Mihai could choose when to take the fights now, and he can just pick him apart. And, oh, man, he finds the archers. That will be 3 kills. Oh, that's so good for Mihai. That's such a nice find. This is, again, so nice to have. Beautiful walls, beautiful structure to the eco. And, I mean, it's actually a pretty weak eco, all things considered. Looking at it now, he doesn't have horse collar. He only has 6 farms. There are skirmishers and archers still coming forward. He wants scouts, but he doesn't have the food for it. And Dragonstar does still have all the chickens. Every time I talk about chickens in AoE, I just want to quote the, like, you know the old Vine or the old meme with, like, the girl. There's, like, a field of geese, and she's, like, 4. It's just a 3-second clip. Look at all those chickens! And it's, like, it's just like 100 geese. Every time I see it, it's so funny, dude. Oh man, there's the archers. Archers snipe the archer, go back inside the town center. This is gonna make Dragonstar happy. The fact that you're harassing the woodline's nice. It's not leading to any immediate kills, but he knows Mihai's definitely gonna have to fight this back. Like, Mihai's resources are not looking good. If somebody just leaves this woodline and goes elsewhere, you think they're going to play defensive. But when they stay here like this, you're expecting a push back. And the plan for Mihai is going to be scouts. Mihai hops out. That's amazing from Dragonstar, though, because Mihai's basically trying to surprise a small group. You'd expect Mihai to get 1 archer kill, but no. And Dragonstar's market's going up. He's still taking all those chickens. He's still taking the hares in the middle. And this will not be a Castle Age game for Mihai. Mihai is staying in Feudal Age, making the scouts, but he's having to wait for so long here. Are the scouts going to be good enough with his own archers? He wants to jump on one of these groups. There's the scouts. The scouts have armor. Dragonstar falls back. There's a lot of archers here, but the micro will have to be perfect. The skirms go on to the archers, which is perfect. And then the archers are here behind. And yeah, Dragons, that's so well played. That's very nicely positioned. That is called like... That is very... It looks like it's simple micro, but a lot of people don't do that. They just keep everything together, but there's 2 skirms in front, the archers waiting behind. And Mihai... I wanted a surprise, and now it's no longer a surprise. And now Dragonstar's on the way to Castle Age. Yeah, I think that the pathing was maybe something there, chat. But part of that was also the indecision from Mihai, because Mihai realizes, I can't fight that many archers. So maybe that's a thanks to E moment with pathing or something, but I don't think he could ever jump on that. Now, he could jump on it now because he has bloodlines, but even still, the numbers are fairly close. I'm inclined to think that Dragonstar can micro his way out of this. That's what Dragonstar does. He just makes so much army, and it's so difficult to beat the numbers here. Mihai will micro down the spears with the archers, but he's spending all of his res. Dragonstar's a minute away from Castle Age. Double range production nonstop. It's this bonus with the Aztecs that works so well in conjunction with Dragonstar's skills. 15% faster military production. And this dude just spams army. I thought that Mihai was going to counterattack. You know, like, he's never been able to get over here with anything, and this is wide open. Maybe now he does. It seems like he's going to do it right now. But this is also a strong enough army where he's going to need to defend from it at some point. And that's a lot of scouts. And the gold is wide open. Dragonstar doesn't have any walls there. And Dragonstar's vills in the middle, he thinks are going to be protected because that's where he's actively fighting. He just doesn't protect any of his villagers at home with this strategy. And Mihai will find the kills. Mihai gets to the golds. Dragonstar has to leave. Get ready for Dragonstar to go full send, though, because he knows he can't react, and he's up to the next stage. There's a tower for Mihai. So Mihai can defend with that and a couple house walls. Oh, that was so nice for Mihai. Finally gets some Vil damage. But he's not up. Like, he's still just stuck in this age. And Dragonstar, honestly, he needs some patience, but also he could just go in there and win the game. Oh, man, he tries the quick wall, though, and he's just not fast enough. We'll lose more villagers to the scouts from Mihai. Still, though, there's crossbowmen here from Dragonstar. The spearman will come back to help against the scouts. Mihai micros it away. Well played. And Dragonstar being off of gold hurts, but he's just selling the food. He's just selling the chickens, selling the hares that he consistently takes. Honestly, I think if he dove there, he could have maybe won the game. Mihai has a lot more time to breathe with that eco, but Dragonstar just doesn't want to take the risks, doesn't want to lose any armies unnecessarily. He's grouping up those crossbowmen, and this is still looking very good for Dragonstar. Mihai's scouts in the middle are getting some value, but there's just... he can't deal with the army. Yeah, I would have gone in there, and it's risky because you have the tower, there's scouts, there's archers, the TC. I think that's Dragonstar showing some patience. Oh, but Dragonstar saw the scouts go, and now he needs to wall up his gold. It needs to be fast. It needs to be fast. The scouts are on the way. That one villager is freaking standing there. She's not contributing, and the scouts are going to get in, and that's so annoying. That's so annoying for Dragonstar. I don't even think you can fight it back. I think you have to leave. Oh, man, Mihai with another amazing raid. And Mihai still, though, has to deal with these crossbowmen, but he's got house walls for now. That's like one tile, guys. Like one tile of wall, and everything changes, and the villagers are still on gold, and you don't have to send army back. But still, the food eco is there, and it will continue on for a long time, and Dragonstar still is the crossbowman. Dragonstar has plenty of food to sell off for gold. He can get the villagers back. And I think he needs to just ram this range down or something. Like, add some siege. He needs wood. This is where he's taking wood right now. Just Dragonstar things. But yeah, market's your best friend. So sell off the food, buy some wood, and get some rams out here. And you got to get some pressure in on Mihai. Mihai is just going to continue to pick you apart if you can't pressure. He stopped Viper from full walling. But Mihai's been able to get the full walls. And so if Mihai has some time, it looks like he... Man, look at the amount of scouts. I think you actually ignore this army and go for the Vils in the middle, though. I mean, if you can kill the army, sure, do it. But what else? What about just going to the middle and feasting there first? Here he goes. We'll see how the pathing is here. It looks like the pathing's perfect. The scouts are on the army. Mihai's going to hold this in feudal age. And Dragonstar will have no military anymore. Full feudal from Mihai. And, oh, man, I mean, what a hold. Crazy amounts of army. We are 28 minutes into the game. And he's still not even thinking about Castle Age. I don't know. It could swing back the other way, though, right? Like, that's still a lot of crossbowmen. But I'm telling you, Mihai's got the key ingredients here. It just counterattack him. Especially now. Now Dragonstar has to chase you. He's not anywhere close to pressuring you. So, I mean, he'll take this engagement. Dragonstar's even fighting back with the Vils because he has no choice. Mihai can keep this up. Mihai's resources are rising towards Castle Age. Full feudal was such a nice play. Wow. I mean, Dragonstar has played the same level that he's brought the previous weeks, right? This is the same level where he got the wins against Viper. I could argue that maybe even slightly a higher level in some ways, but it's just these tiny differences in Mihai's gameplay to be able to hold from this and adapt to the chaos that's come his way. And now for Mihai, he needs to keep the pressure up with the scouts. He's killed 14 villagers, about to be 15 villagers. Yeah, I worry for Dragonstar now because, again, he can't actually damage Mihai. Mihai's got farms. Mihai's got everything back here. Mihai really just needs better wood lines, but he's got better wood lines too. And then you have to chase, but if you have to chase armies and you got Vils exposed in the middle and that's your strat, you're just going to be picked apart. He is chasing here, though. He did get ballistics. Do you guys think that if Dragonstar went in that moment we talked about here, he wins the game? Remember, it was like, there was a gap here. There was the garrison tower. There were some scouts and archers. It was like super, super close. It was just close enough where you don't want to take the risk as a player, but I felt that he was just going to go in because he was starting to get raided. And it could just be this never-ending cycle of raids if he allows those raids to get any value. Yeah, I don't know either. It seems like it's close. The issue, though, and I'm repeating myself now because it is what it is, right? It's just he's exposed. And he can't actually damage Mihai's eco immediately. And now he's got an exposed gold again. And it's going to fall apart here for Dragonstar. If he still hasn't ended the game with this strategy, if he doesn't have a massive lead, this is going to get so much worse. Light cab upgrades on the way. Armor upgrades on the way. Now does he dive? Now does he go for it? This is what I mean, right? You have to. It's just going to get worse. You run in here, Dragonstar. There he goes. Unfortunately, there's enough knights in queue and +2 armor is going to be on the way. I think he'll get some kills. I don't think it's going to be enough. The light cav are still harassing the gold. The light cav are going immediately to the hunters in the middle. Well, I mean, to be honest, that's a really good raid. That is a really good raid from Dragonstar. The knights do have +2 armor, but his micro is fantastic. He's still losing some units in the middle. He was still pushed off of his gold. And Mihai just barely clears that. Wow, yeah, Mihai, villagers will be back to work now. And GG's called. Yeah, I think Dragonstar will lose too much in the middle. Mihai just was able to weather the storm, guys. Remember the 6-0 KD. He had to fight back with villagers from an Omega Drush. Didn't lose the villagers there. Made it to feudal age. I think the key thing really was he was able to get the full walls down, which a lot of that comes back to fighting off the militia. If those militia are still actively moving around the map to deny the walls, I think it's a very different game. And I guarantee you Dragonstar's regretting taking the fights where he did now. Because you look back in it and it's like, so often I was saying with this build, it's not actually about the villager kills with the militia. It's what you can do in feudal age with it. But because he takes the engagement, he doesn't have an army to prevent the walls, right? If you could have active armies around, moving around, Mihai would never take the risk. So you got 3 potential scenarios off this build. Scenario number 1, you is this. This is worst case scenario. You make the army, you get 0 kills from the army's a waste. Scenario number 2 is you don't get Vil kills with the army, and the army is still alive and keeps him open. And then, like, you know, I guess I don't know why I said 3 scenarios. Technically, there's like 8, but those are the 2 important scenarios here, and it was the worst case scenario for him. Because again, he had the army so consistently for so long, and he just couldn't break through, and he couldn't actually harass because the walls were up. And I'd never seen that before when watching this strategy. But I'm going to go back to here, right here. He gets crossbow. I guess he doesn't have bodkin right away. Okay, he has crossbow bodkin here. If he goes in, does he win? You got 6 archers, 4 scouts. There's about to be 2 more scouts. I think if he goes in, he can win the game right here. But it's just enough going on with the tower and the stables where he doesn't want to take the risk to lose his army. But I really do think that there just wasn't enough scouts at that point in time, and then Mihai loses his whole eco. Okay. So, I'm going to be real with you. I was not expecting Dragonstar to pick this civ, because Dragonstar had Koreans on the draft. So as we again catch up to live time, and sorry, they've been so efficiently into the games, we are catching up, but interesting to me that he's gone for Muisca. My instinct would be with these civs the Champy Rush, but I don't know, man. I don't think you pick it for the Champy Rush. Maybe you pick it for some other reasons. How good is their navy? I mean, not a very good naval civilization. They do get the catapult galleons, which would be cool to see. But Dragonstar's draft had Koreans, which is amazing civ for the late game on this map. Pretty clearly, I think he just doesn't trust himself in the late game now. Ram says, is there going to be a giveaway today? We did the giveaway before the series started. So yeah, we did do the DLC giveaways already for that next milestone. If we hit more milestones, obviously, then yeah, there would be more giveaways today. But pretty clear to me, I think what Dragonstar is going to do is play pretty aggressive in Feudal Age and Castle Age here. And I guess that's not too big of a shock because that's been his style. But am I missing something, guys? They've got the unique tech. They've got, or the unique unit, the Guecha Warrior. I think people are really undervaluing this unit because it's a skirmisher. It doesn't feel like a skirmisher. This unit is very good. Very strong, in my opinion, against a variety of different things. But it's not a good map. It's not a good unit here. Like, here you need naval bonuses. You can go to, like, Fast Castle cheaper because advancing to the next stage costs less gold. But nah, dude, I think Dragonstar just wants the settlements because the settlements are efficient for your eco, and I think he wants champies. And I think Mihai's like, oh, I wonder what he's going to try. Like, I mean, think about it. He's rushed you like crazy the first 2 games. He then doesn't play Koreans, which is an amazing water civ. It's like, do you think he's going to play water or do you think he's going to play land? So Mihai's like, yeah, we're just going to wall up and brace myself for some pressure here. A transport ship scouting the dock in the back. Dock in the back would normally indicate man-at-arms to me. And there's the barracks for Dragonstar. Obviously, it won't be man-at-arms. It would be like champies. And then Mihai's also docked at the back. I think Dragonstar also needs to scout that. His transport ship is actually taking... Ooh. 2 villagers. 2 villagers have a job. And their entire nation depends on it. What are these 2 villagers being paid? They're not being paid. They don't care about salary. They care about glory. Here they go. 2 shepherds from afar make their way into the enemy base. He wants to sneak. But I don't think he's going to be able to get through there because the walls are up. There's the archery range. All right. Well, I mean, you know what I wouldn't hate here? In theory, forward archers, forward dock could be pretty decent. But Mihai is clearly just sitting back. I think he's going to play archers. Actually, he might play scouts with the way his eco's set up. But he's just waiting. He's like, I know you're going to be somewhere. He might even be looking in the back of his base. He's like, where's the pressure? Where's the pressure? Where's the pressure? Double archer range from Dragonstar. Dragonstar knows the wood line's being taken. Dragonstar sees it's a stable, which is kind of a big deal because your barracks is at home. So if you want spearmen, it's got to walk a really far distance. Mihai still doesn't see this, but he sees the champy is wandering around. His fish are safe on the back. He added a hawk there just in case there's pressure. And yeah, by Mihai, you get 2 additional vills when you make it to the next stage. So you're just thinking, all right, this is fine with me. I've got the better economy right now. I just hate, like, why go archers and towers sneak with Muisca versus Koreans? Is that not perfect for Koreans? It's better for Koreans, right? Like, maybe just mind games. It's got to be the mind games of it, is of, like, people expecting the champies. The tower goes up. Now, this is funny. What Mihai doesn't expect is there's going to be archers too. So the counter tower strategy is good if it's just one villager building the tower. But now Dragonstar just pops the archers in there, and now he will force idols out of Mihai. So yeah, Mihai was not expecting the archers because he hasn't seen the ranges. But there he goes with the scouts. And Dragonstar walling in a little bubble here. The Dragonstar does have a spear, and Dragonstar will have some nice walls. And honestly, the opening's been pretty good just because of the tower situation. You have 4 idols for Mihai, and you've got 2 idols inside the tower, plus the archers from Dragonstar. And Dragonstar's got fletching already, too. Not bad. T90, always impressed how you can instantly predict strategies. How much is that ability because you're a good player versus a good caster? Question mark. Is that stuff obvious to other high-level players? Question mark. Yeah, I hate to ruin the immersion here, but this is all scripted. Actually, everything in this season of Titans League has already happened many, many months ago. We just act like it's live. So I'm able to just act like I'm, you know, I just watch the games ahead of time. So, yeah. That's... I mean, sorry, but it's just what you got to do for a good show, you know? No, to answer the question, other high-level players should be able to recognize these things. I mean, there are times, I'll say it with my words, I can be insanely critical on some tiny details, right? There are times that maybe some details are missed. Some of that's a knowledge thing, but other times that is just, oh, don't get in there. Do not get in there. Okay. Other times that is mainly an execution thing just because the games get really busy. Guys, that's a big deal right there. Dragonstar wanted to transport around. And that little Hulk there sniping the transport ship is huge. The scouts and archers are just going to go to Dragonstar's base. See, Dragonstar's defending with the spearmen, so bringing a couple archers forward is very nice. And Mihai's just holding. He's just relaxing. So far, this army hasn't done anything against him. It's a bit risky to go forward, but Dragonstar can't tower here. So, you know, I feel as though this is, again, just a perfect decision from Mihai. He will apply some pressure to Dragonstar. Now, I can't really see that palisade wall. It's hard to see behind the rock. That is going down. He might need a tower behind here because he doesn't really have the archers yet. Dragonstar didn't have the stone to repair. His tower's going down, but Dragonstar's about to go in, baby. It's a little messy, though. He's losing his archers, but he's losing his archers because of this, because he has to focus here. Oh, man, he can't click that stupid palisade wall behind the rock. There he is. He'll be through. And Mihai will hold with his own tower behind here. This is so well played from Mihai. He ends up having a defensive tower on the wood line now. That's a nice spot to tower because it's very difficult for Dragonstar to ever justify running through. But he might, because he knows the game is not trending his direction. He knows his Civ is worse late game. And Dragonstar is just going to run around. He's so crazy, man. He's so crazy. What a weird spot to find himself in. But here he goes. And he will drop a tower back here. And that's not a bad tower to have. No defensive tower for him, by the way. The scouts are going down to the town center, though. And I don't think Mihai was ever expecting Dragonstar to run through like that. Damn. I mean, this is not an efficient eco for Mihai now. I wish for Dragonstar's sake, he would have actually waited for the tower. He could be denying the gold at the moment. I wish for Mihai's sake, he would have been able to focus on the multitasking. But oh my god, look at the idle time for Dragonstar's base. Oh, and now it's Vils! Tower at 95%. Tower at 95%. Tower is not completed. Armor is in on the scouts again for Mihai. He kills the villagers. I think he will end up losing his army. But denying that tower is super nice. And Mihai came with a plan today. And the plan was just invest a lot into scouts. Get the armor. Get the upgrades. Honestly, the scouts might end up clearing this. And this could be the sweep, guys. This could be it. Dragonstar's eco's a mess. What a hold from Mihai again. Nicely played. Wow. Yeah, I've been impressed with him today, guys. I think, again, this is his home map, so you would expect him to play comfortably here, but like Dragonstar could just make you so uncomfortable. And I think that you encounter situations that you would maybe never encounter even if you are very well prepared. And his adaptation to it has been awesome. I love the fishing in the middle as well. This is something we never touched on. But he went to the middle and started to add fishing ships there to boost his eco. Dragonstar's got one more chance in this game. Dragonstar's on the way up to Castle Age using the market. And it will be the faster Castle Age. I'm assuming still crossbowman, though. Like, he still has the archers around. And honestly, he still has the timing. But I think Mihai... If I play Dragonstar now in this tournament... I'm just going to always remember, he never stops military, right? So you can't, like, clear up his army and just say, okay, he's done with that unit. No. He's going to continue to play range units. So I think, with that knowledge, you should just always play skirms in Mihai's position. But he just doesn't know. He cleared up so much army. Normal players just stop with that unit and switch into something else. But there he sees it. Another group of archers. I think it's important for Dragonstar to see these docks. The Dragonstar's lost more villagers to scouts over here. That's one villager down. And yeah, Dragonstar is pressuring on the back with a Hulk. Dragonstar's archers moving over this way. The nice thing is he knows Mihai's woodlines are kind of weird. And Mihai's still going to play full scouts. I mean, you can play light cav with armor, but the difference between this and the previous matchup is you can't go knights. So I think full light cav could potentially be awkward at a certain point. But not nearly as awkward as this, right? Not the fact that scouts and archers are always over here for Dragonstar. I think another tower is going to be needed here for Mihai, right behind the stable, right behind the gold. Yeah, especially right now. You got to do it right now. He didn't expect the Castle Age time. Now I need a tower. That'd be wild if he doesn't do it, but he's not doing it. He's chasing back the Hulk here. Still running around over here. Dragonstar's getting crossbow and bodkin. Dragonstar's on the way in. I'm a little shocked that Mihai didn't immediately tower there. He does have scouts. He will get light cav. But with the tower, he wouldn't be under this much pressure. The Dragonstar will add Hulks in the middle. Now, if Mihai's distracted, he could lose these 4 fishing ships. Meanwhile, Dragonstar's still just house-walling out armies. Because he has no defense at home. We actually have an elephant in queue for Mihai. But he's waiting for husbandry. He's been patient. You don't actually need the gold for the light cav, so maybe still just saving that stone for a castle or something. I don't think one Champy scout's going to do it for Dragonstar. I think that's desperation, and he's really hoping to kill more. And there's +2 armor with husbandry coming in, and it could be the same ending to this game as we saw in the previous game. Patience from Mihai. Tries to body block a little bit with the light cav. And then the Scorpion's on the way. And yeah, I mean, well played. He didn't panic there. Could have easily dropped the tower. Instead, he's like, nah, man, I'm fine. Don't need it. Over here as well, the Champies go down. The Spearman goes down. Dragonstar's eco is just, oh, it's so sad to look at. All right. Well, Mihai doesn't clear those. He would clear them, though. And while this is actually kind of risky, and maybe he loses a couple villagers here, I think it's pretty clear that Mihai is going to clear up any army that Dragonstar makes at this point. He has the superior eco, and Mihai gets the sweep For Dragonstar, a painful, painful series because every game was entertaining. I really think just like game number 1 and game number 2, he had his chances. But Mihai just one step ahead of him today. And Mihai maybe can be first place in this group. That was an amazing response. Again, Viper went down 2-1 to Dragonstar. People have been dropping games to this guy at the very least. I think when Sato played him, it was a 2-1 win for Sato. He is not an easy player to beat. But Mihai gets the sweep. Well played. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more eyes on Mihai now. A lot more people predicting Mihai winning the group, especially with what happens in the next series between Sato and Viper. But I cannot say enough good things about how Mihai adapted in this series, guys. There was so much chaos, and he just made it look easy at times. So, Bearhead says, I feel like Dragonstar had his best chances in the first game. It was really his game to lose after that opening. I mean, I don't think it was quite that clear. I think there's downsides to how to Dragonstar's play, right? It's very high risk, high reward. Obviously, killing the villager in the first game was awesome. But like we said in the cast, forward range, forward tower is also very risky. So it works well, but Mihai could still pressure his base. Everything that Mihai needed today to still hold on and get wins against really good strats, he had. So incredible job from Mihai. All right. So what does that mean? So this is where we stand at the moment. Now, let's not forget, for Dragonstar fans, for anyone who's sad about Dragonstar's situation, let's not forget, like, I guess what he needs is he needs Sato to stomp Viper. He actually needs Sato to stomp Viper right now. Because if Sato stomps Viper, Dragonstar's 1 win behind Viper, and then Dragonstar plays Dark the final round. And then Dark only has 1 win. And if Dragonstar gets enough wins there, he could pass Viper and relegate Viper. Right? That's pretty much it. I don't know if that makes you really confident for Dragonstar at the moment. Because basically, I mean, Viper's Viper. If Viper wins like 2-1 or something, Dragonstar could be cooked, guys. Yeah, if Viper would have win this series 2-1, Dragonstar is likely out. If Viper wins this series 3-0, Dragonstar is out. So he needs Sato to deliver with some wins. And obviously, for Viper needs the wins to get top 3, get into the playoff position, because that's not a guarantee right now. The issue for Viper, he only has 1 set win, so he can never really be tied with Vivi. Or not very easily, because the first tiebreak is set wins, and then the second tiebreak would be head-to-head. And since Viper has lost some of these matchups, he basically needs to pass people with the win column. So yeah, next series is huge. For Viper, for Sato, and also for where Dragonstar ends up.